Labour MP Jess Phillips came under sharp criticism in Parliament after accusing the government of deliberately obstructing efforts to launch a nationwide inquiry into grooming gangs operating across the UK. The confrontation sparked a tense exchange, prompting the Speaker to issue a formal caution and pledge to review the parliamentary record for factual accuracy. During a Commons debate, Phillips condemned the government's refusal to initiate a full national investigation into child sexual exploitation, despite reports of grooming scandals in over 50 towns. She criticized ministers for relying on just 5 localized inquiries, arguing that many councils either lack the legal authority or the political will to investigate thoroughly. The government is blocking a national inquiry into grooming gangs, Phillips said. It insists on local reviews. Even in places like Bradford, where councils themselves are preventing scrutiny, these local authorities don't have the powers they need to summon witnesses or collect evidence effectively. Phillips pointed to Oldham as a case in point. She said the council had requested investigatory powers at the national level following recent elections, but was refused. She also accused the responsible minister of avoiding meetings with local leaders. However, the government quickly disputed her claims. The minister insisted the issue predated the current administration, stating, "Oldham Council, as I understand, wrote to the previous government twice. Telford did as well. Now, this issue didn't start after the election." That assertion was soon challenged by another government official, who interrupted to clarify a key detail. To say Oldham Council wrote to the government is not accurate. A councillor may have done so individually, but the council, as a body, did not. That distinction matters, the official said. The Speaker of the House, seeking to calm the exchange, acknowledged the correction and pledged to ensure that the parliamentary record reflects the facts. "If there has been a mistake, I am sure it will be corrected. I will review the record to ensure clarity and accuracy," he said. The minister went on to stress that none of the councils at the heart of earlier grooming scandals, including Rotherham, Rochdale, Telford, and Oxford, were granted special funding or powers by previous governments to pursue inquiries. "These councils weren't given a single penny or specific authority for this kind of work," he said. "We're now working to change that." The clash highlighted a broader and increasingly fraught debate over how the UK should respond to grooming gang scandals, a deeply sensitive issue that continues to stir public anger and political disagreement. Many campaigners and victims' advocates argue that a single national inquiry is the only credible way to uncover the true scale of abuse, understand institutional failings, and hold those in power accountable. For victims and their families, the government's fragmented approach is seen as insufficient, a piecemeal strategy that risks letting abusers go unpunished and leaving communities in the dark. Some local councils have been accused of blocking or delaying investigations, while others lack the tools to compel witnesses or conduct thorough reviews. Phillips and other MPs pushing for a national inquiry argue that only a centralized process, free from local political pressure and backed by robust legal authority, can ensure meaningful justice. "There's no way to uncover the full truth when some councils are unwilling or unable to act," said one campaigner following the Commons exchange. "This is not just about a handful of towns. It's about a systemic failure across the country." However, critics of a national inquiry suggest such calls are being politicized. They argue that well-funded and properly empowered local inquiries can deliver justice more quickly than a protracted national process. Some warn that an overarching investigation could become bogged down in bureaucracy and delay support for victims. Despite these arguments, campaigners insist the inconsistencies between how councils handle such cases only reinforce the need for a uniform, national response. They point out that in towns like Rotherham and Rochdale, major failings by local authorities were only uncovered after years of media pressure and public outcry. "This issue demands more than patchwork fixes," said another advocate. "If we're serious about protecting children and holding institutions to account, we need the political will to act decisively. And that means a national inquiry." The exchange in Parliament underscored how emotionally charged and politically volatile the grooming gang crisis remains. Beyond the factual disputes, it exposed a growing frustration over the pace and scope of the government's response. While Phillips was formally rebuked for her remarks, her intervention reflects a broader call from within and outside Parliament for greater transparency and urgency. Whether that pressure will shift government policy remains to be seen. As MPs continue to debate how best to respond to one of Britain's most harrowing social scandals, one thing is clear: the demand for justice and for a full accounting of institutional failure, is not going away anytime soon.